Hey everybody, Arthur here with another figure review. Today we have G.I. Joe 50th Anniversary Heat Viper. This came with the Blowtorch Heat Viper 2-pack, which I didn't get the 2-pack. I ended up getting this guy loose from a fellow collector because I didn't care for the Blowtorch figure. The colors were awful, and honestly I already had the other one that was more towards the original coloring that Blowtorch came with. Just like every other G.I. Joe figure, well, almost every other figure, he does come with a figure stand, and I love these stands because you got the Cobra logo all on there, nicely done, painted gold because it's the 50th anniversary, and we got codename Heat Viper right on it. He does have a golden Cobra logo on him as well. That's what they did with those figures. So if it was a G.I. Joe, it would have the G.I. Joe logo and things like that. Now he did come with a backpack. And his backpack is just, it's weird. It's looks like it has some adult toys on the back in case he gets into a bind, I suppose. Then he has some weird exhaust. I don't know. I don't know what this design is. It's so weird. I just feel like it was just slapped together. And I never was a fan of their pegs. Like the backpack pegs for the new Joes, they bend and they're not really that easy to get plugged in. It's not like the olden days, but it's a neat backpack. But the biggest thing that he comes with is his rocket launcher or heat gun or whatever you want to call it. It is pretty badass. It's huge. Let me take this part off because it does unplug. You got yourself this nice sculpted weapon. Got that on there. Nothing screaming Nerf on this, and it's done by Hasbro. Come on, they could do this with Joe's. Our Marvel Legends and everything else should have nice looking weapons. Now, I guess this could be more futuristic, but still, it's like a rocket launcher, ray gun, flamethrower. I don't know, but you got this cool hose. Has some really good detail right there. The hose is really like, I don't know. You have to work at it to get it to move. And I've seen other people, so this just plugs in right here. I've seen some that have it, they plug the plug, because there's a, you can see that, there's a hole right there. And I've seen some people where they just plug it right here. To me, I mean, it's all right. It's not bad, but then it comes undone because the hose is a turd, and it's not like the old school hoses we used to get. Now, with the backpack, I've seen some people plug it down on the bottom, but I don't think that's where it goes. It just doesn't make sense to like pop this on the bottom, risk breaking that, because it doesn't look like that's where the hose goes. Now, where I place it, it doesn't stay in place. It feels nice and snug. See, it's holding it. Looks great. But when it's in hand and it turns, that hose just wants to come undone. Maybe it just needed a peg right there, like, and it would look great because it just seems like that's slotted for that connection. It's just maybe I just need to work at this a little bit more and get it bent and it'll hold in that position. But pretty awesome. So he comes with a decent amount of accessories, and some of the accessories actually come equipped on him. He comes with these little missile things, and that's where it's like, I think his gun is a rocket launcher, but he's a Heat Viper, so I'd assume it was like some sort of laser or something dealing with fire. These could just be little boot grenades. But what's really cool is they unplug. There's a lot of people that are anti 3 3/4, and I guess I can understand that. But when G.I. Joe started doing the 25th line and you started having holsters that could have the guns removed, the knives removed, all this like articulation and accessories and stuff, it was just phenomenal. And it just blew my mind what they were doing with these figures. Now his head, in it, like, this is all OG style Heat Viper, looking great. Paint issue at the bottom there, but I don't care about that as much because that line right there is straight. I've seen somewhere their line going down is all messed up. It's just the paint apps on this guy wasn't the greatest, but the head sculpt and everything looks pretty awesome. More paint issues underneath. Then he has a little neck. Now this is just on a ball joint here. So you look them left and right, and that's pretty much it. A little bit of up and down, but not much. Then you can see, if I can get the light to look. You see there's that golden cobra I was telling you about. It just sort of blends in with the yellow, so you have to stare, mess around with the light, but it's definitely there. He has this weird harness and an itty-bitty gun that you can't take out of the holster. I'm sitting here talking about these holsters and how they would remove guns and stuff, but I think some of these 50th anniversary ones, they just sort of had stuff that was pre-molded, and some of the stuff was pre-molded, but, you know, it's still not a bad look. I wouldn't use a pistol with this guy anyway. But just like his whole look is just great. Crazy gaps in like the connector and the thighs. It's nuts. But let's go over like the articulation. So we went over the head. Arms can go up quite a bit. He does have the, you know, swivel and everything at the arms. Single jointed elbow. It swivels at the elbow. Wrist rotation, and then he does have wrist bend. His wrist does bend this way. Now his other hand now goes up and down, does that type of motion. But again, like for Joe's and stuff, I mean, some pretty good movement. Then you get some ab movement. So he can do that nice little swivel around there a little bit. And, you know, you can sort of click in. It's not really like a click, but this lines up pretty nice. And I noticed that, and this is sort of throughout this figure, the paint on the arms and stuff, they just didn't get it into like the crinkles and everything very well, so it looks like it's all scratched up. But honestly, that's how it came out of the package. It has a painted on belt, no swivel at the waist, and like old school G.I. Joe, so you can't rotate him. All his movements up in his abdomen there. And then he can do a Van Damme. He can do straight up field goal kick, double jointed knees, because I mean you want your Joes to be able to bend and pose. You also get ankle bend and movements, no pivot, but still bend and left and right move. It is great, even though it doesn't really matter as much because of the fact that if you're putting him on the stand, it's pretty much, you know, he's there and he's going to stand no matter what. But this figure is pretty awesome. He is able to pose quite well. Joints aren't overly loose or anything like that. And he just looks awesome. He's going to be great to put him up with my Cobra shelf and my Detolf and everything. And I'm going to try to start doing more Joe reviews, be my loose ones, or if I get any new ones that I'm going to crack open. Because I do have a lot on card that I don't know if I'm going to open ever. Due to the fact that they ended up coming with like the awesome style, like classic style art on them, which I ended up getting two of a lot of the figures just because of that. So yeah, this figure's awesome. Let's get him posed up. Let's get him all geared up. Let's put him on a stand and see if he can handle being posed. I just want to show this right now. You can see that I'm sort of holding that in there. It's because that tube, the plastic, like if this thing could just stay there, this thing would be great looking like that. Looks more natural that way, and instead of just like curling it up, because like what you have this going into itself makes no sense whatsoever. I'd rather just keep it unplugged, but honestly it should be plugging in there, not under there. I think it should be fitting into this little perfect cutout because it just makes sense. It makes sense. Comment down below, what do you guys think? Do you think it should have been plugged here in the bottom right there? Should it? Or should it have been here? Or should have been there? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But this guy overall, like the stand is great. I love the stands. You got you had to prove me wrong, stands. But no, that's because I was putting too much weight towards the back. 2 peg holes. So you can put both feet in there. He's nice and snug, and he's going to stand however you want. Holds his weapon great. You know, some people's going to want him to, you know, maybe hunch forward a little bit. You know, do some squats. You know, maybe shooting at an ant. But I mean, realistically though, I mean, this thing is pretty awesome. And the fact that we get, you know, all this into one figure, and it just takes me back to the good old days of G.I. Joes. And, I guess he has to watch out for his arm, just in case that's exhaust coming out there. I don't know. It's just weird. But Heat Viper's really cool. I can see people army building this guy. I think I army built like Snow Serpents a little bit, and Cobra Troopers. And that's pretty much my army building. I didn't go too extreme. Because with G.I. Joes, you can get very, very easily caught up in the army building, because you got your Vipers, your Cobra Troopers, your Crimson Guards, and then you got your variants of those. You got your Bats. Like, it is insane the amount of army building you can do with G.I. Joes. And actually, back in the day when these things came out, I mean, the price wasn't too bad that you could do it. But again, it was a challenge to hunt those down, because when these guys were being released, collectors were out there gobbling them up because they're amazing. And that sums up my figure review of G.I. Joe 50th Anniversary Heat Viper. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, I want you guys to take a look at Toyco Toys and Collectibles. Both links are down below. And join up with those Facebook groups. You get the one that's community, interact with fellow nerds, and you also can share toys, talk about figures, collections, all that good stuff. And then you got the one that is the pre-order group, which I stand by wholeheartedly, because it is awesome. Keeps you in the know, letting you know what's coming out, but it also gives you the opportunity to pre-order at an amazing price that'll get it delivered straight to your home. But I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting. Have a beautiful day.